Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne, and this channel is all about bringing you news and content surrounding childhood sexual abuse. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be advised of any new uploads. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the content. US singer Jessica Simpson has revealed how being sexually assaulted as a child led to a reliance on drugs and alcohol. In an excerpt of her new memoir, Open Book, published in the People magazine, she admitted to self-medicating for years to deal with the trauma. "I was killing myself with all the drinking and pills," she said. Simpson quit alcohol in November 2017 when she realised it was making things worse. "Giving up alcohol was easy," she went on. "I was mad at the bottle, at how it allowed me to stay complacent and numb." The abuse she suffered began when she was 6 years old, when she shared a bed with the daughter of a family friend. "It would start with tickling my back and then go into things that were extremely uncomfortable," she wrote. "I wanted to tell my parents. I was the victim, but somehow felt I was in the wrong." 6 years later, she plucked up the courage to tell her parents during a car journey. Her mother reacted by slapping her father's arm and yelling, "I told you something was happening." "Dad kept his eye on the road and said nothing," wrote Simpson. "We never stayed at my parents' friend's house again, but we also didn't talk about what I said." Simpson found fame as a teenage pop star in the late 1990s before starring in MTV reality series Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica, alongside her former husband Nick Lachey. She's now married to former American football player Eric Johnson, with whom she has 3 children. The star, who used therapy to allow herself to finally feel the traumas she'd been through, said she'd been on a long, hard, deep emotional journey. So I have a few observations from this story. Her parents' reaction, the mum knowing that something was happening, not following up with her, left Jessica to burden the brunt of her trauma. It is sad that her mother, having a suspicion that something was going on, did not follow up in doing something about it. This can sometimes stem from fear, awkwardness, embarrassment, but her mum should have sought advice in knowing how to handle the situation. Jessica's mum also should have taken her disclosure as an opportunity to talk with her. No follow-up talk left her again to build up her own perceptions of why the abuse happened. Her father not saying anything is a clear sign of not wanting to deal with it. What should have happened is that the parent should have reported this to the police. Could it be that because of the perpetrator being an older child, they overlooked the seriousness of the offence? The trauma of sexual abuse cannot be buried. People who have experienced sexual abuse try and cover the trauma in many different ways. Drugs and alcohol, as Jessica mentioned. But I want to share with you just some statistics from the Darkness to Light, an American organisation that supports survivors and raises awareness of sexual abuse. 70 to 80% of survivors report excessive drug and alcohol use. Young girls who have been sexually abused are 3 times more likely to develop psychiatric disorders or alcohol and drug abuse in adulthood than girls who are not sexually abused. Among male survivors, more than 70% seek psychological treatment for issues such as substance abuse, suicidal thoughts, and attempted suicide. Peer-on-peer sexual abuse is as common as an adult sexually abusing a child. Yet only probably in the last 3 to 4 years we have seen more exposure on this type of abuse, as the focus has predominantly always been more on adult and child. Older children abusing younger children include older siblings, cousins, friends. What is sad about the girl that abused Jessica is that there is a high chance that she was sexually abused herself. And lastly, most children do not disclose abuse at the time it happens. Jessica tried to tell her parents 6 years later. If a child tries to disclose to you about abuse or about somebody they're worried about, just listen, don't react, and reassure. Once away from the child, report the abuse to the police. If you're not sure what to do, you can also call child abuse helplines who will be able to help you and point you in the right direction. They can also point you in the direction of support for your child. But whatever you do, do not leave it. as you can see from Jessica's story and the statistics that I've mentioned, in leaving it, it can cause more problems for the victim later on.